Welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. My name is Rory Graham and I'm your host, and today we have the pleasure of having with us Dennis Gray from Accurid Pest Solutions in Chesapeake. Welcome.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
This is a busy time of year for you guys?
It's extremely busy.
We're recording in November, so a lot of wet weather. I assume that makes things interesting for you.
Absolutely. Not just the wet weather, but we're going into colder temperatures, so that's drawing a lot of the pests and insects indoors, where most people are spending most of their time these days.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'd like you to start off with just, I'm sure because of a name, Pest Solutions, you kind of have an idea, but give us an overview of what your company does.
Accurid Pest Solutions, we're a full-service pest control company, so we service everything from soup to nuts, your ants, your spiders, termites, bed bugs, anything that's pest related. Although we do get a lot of calls for mother-in-laws, and I do have to make a stipulation, that's one pest that we can't help with.
All right. That's good. Okay. Now you handle rodents and all too?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
All right. And now you're in Chesapeake. How far area do you service?
We cover a very large area. We cover everything on the peninsula. Our guys go up to Williamsburg, Yorktown, Hayes. On the south side, we cover all the cities on that side. And we actually go further west as well into areas like Capron, Franklin, Emporia, Druryville. So we do cover a wide area. Wow.
Okay, that's quite an area. I was just recently in Emporia. What are the most frequent kind of pests that you have in the Hampton Roads area? Is there certain types that are pretty common here?
Absolutely, and you're probably very aware of this as well. Most of the areas in Hampton Roads are built around highly dense vegetation areas, and also a lot of these structures are built just above the water table. So we have a lot of moisture in our area. And moisture and pests are kind of married to each other. Where there's moisture, generally you have pests. So in our particular area, on a day-to-day basis, we deal with a number of ant calls, spiders, rodents. There's a huge epidemic going on right now with bed bugs across the country, and we have our fair share of bed bug treatments, as well as termites as well. In the Hampton Roads area, you can bet on just about 1 out of every 6 homes will get termites. And generally 1 out of every 3 homes will have some sort of moisture-related issue in the crawl space. That can be mold, fungus. So in this particular area, we have a myriad of pests that we deal with. Okay,
so how do you work with clients to deal with those? I mean, is each one kind of a different thing? Do you first go out and make an assessment and then each one is handled differently, or do you just have like a pest control plan, or for one size fits all? Or?
Well, we're a solutions-based company,
okay.
And we pride ourselves on that. We don't have a one size fits all for any customer. Every customer situation is going to be different, right, due to the environment. So we actually employ a 30-point inspection where we inspect that property from top to bottom, and we're looking to identify any possible entry points that the pests may try to use. Sometimes there's just landscaping issues which are bringing pests to the property, and we accompany that inspection with a service report where we document recommendations for the customer. Recently, I just had a customer who had a particular plant, actually it was a tree, that was attracting box elder bugs. They were being attracted by the box elder tree. So we just told them that if he cut down the tree, it would certainly reduce that particular pest that were coming and being attracted to him every single year, in addition to the service treatment that we provide for him as well.
Okay. All right. So now you've been successful. You've been 10 years, is it?
Yes, we're going on our 10th year in business.
Okay, that's no small feat, especially in today's economy.
Right, absolutely.
So what makes you stand out or different? I mean, you know, to be honest with you, I think that I see as many pest control companies out there running around as air conditioning companies. It's like every day there's another one I see, you know. So what makes you stand out? What do you think makes you different?
And that's absolutely true. There are a ton of pest control companies. And if I could, I just want to take a little bit longer with this question because there's a number of components which makes us different. First is our passion. We inbred our passion throughout all of our technicians, our whole team, in fact, from the customer service rep that answers the phone to the accounts receivable person who answers the phone to take the payment. Every part of our staff is passionate about leaving our client with a better quality of life than what we found them in. In fact, I have a story about a family who encountered bed bugs. And I was actually personally on that inspection. We go to the inspection and these people are bitten up from head to toe. You can look in the faces and see the frowns, the dismays, and these people have had their lives disrupted by bed bugs. So when we put together a plan to go into this home, eradicate the bed bugs, and go back and do a follow-up inspection to make sure we've gotten everything out, and we can look in that family's face and the smiles are back, the pep's back in the step, that really feeds our heart. And we know that we've actually done a good thing. We've left that family with a better quality of life. The other parts that make us better would be work ethic. The work ethic of our technicians are second to none. These guys are early risers. We're up by 6:30. We stay as long as we need to get the job done, and we do it right the first time. Our customer service is something that we actually hang our hat on. Those are the bricks, the foundation, in fact, of what our company's built on. We treat our customers with the old adage that the customer's always right. And we make sure that we provide exceptional service on a day-to-day basis. And then I would say training. Training is key. For most other companies, the status quo of having the technicians just pass the state exam or the state testing is okay. For Accurid Pest Solutions, that's not good enough for us. You know, we have an in-house exam that they have to pass in addition to the state test. And our exam is 8 times harder than the industry standard. And we take the training further. Every week we have a staff meeting. We take 1 hour out of that staff meeting to retrain our guys on pests that are relevant at that time of year. We believe that the education and the mother of learning is repetition. The more these guys hear it, the more it's ingrained in their brain and they can master it on a day-to-day basis. We have trainings quarterly, yearly, and in fact we seek out the best, the top industry leaders in our industry, and we send our guys to be trained by the best of the best. In fact, we just got back from Bedbug University, where we sent some technicians to be trained by the foremost leaders in our industry as far as bedbug education is concerned. This training was a $2,000 per person training. It's expensive, but we know if we want to be the best, we have to go and learn from the best.
Okay, well, it's certainly important in any industry to stay up on it.
Absolutely.
It sounds like you certainly have given your business a lot of thought. I mean, you have quite a foundation of the major building blocks covered there.
Right.
So I can see where you're successful. All right, so you go and you go to someone's house and you find out they have, well, maybe not termites, but maybe they have ants, or maybe they know they have ants, but you find some other problems. So then you would tell them what you can do for them. And is the solutions that you put on the table, are they, I'm assuming they're safe for humans, are they safe for pets? Right,
and typically when I hear the word safe applied with chemicals, I cringe.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the word safe with chemicals because anything used in excess is certainly going to be unsafe. Mm-hmm. And if I may digress for just a second, I was actually had the unfortunate opportunity to look at a story of a fraternity group who had their pledgees drinking gallons of water in a 24-hour period. And in that 24-hour period, one of the pledgees actually died. He ingested too much water. You and I know that water is probably the safest thing on the planet, but in excess, it's certainly unhealthy. We go through extra measures to make sure we're choosing the absolute best chemical for a particular situation. Most of the chemical that we choose has a very low toxicity, so just enough toxicity to take care of the targeted pests that we're after. Most of the chemical we use has very low odor, so we don't disrupt the homeowners day to day. They don't have to leave the house during their treatment. And our technicians are expertly trained at applying that in low exposure areas. And basically what that means is we're going to apply it in areas where pets, children, kids, people are not going to come into day-to-day contact with the chemical, but it's going to be applied in the specific areas where pests and insects live, breed, and harbor.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a very thorough answer. And you're right. Anything in excess can be bad for you. My love for chocolate comes in. All right. So you talked about the different areas that you service. Is this all from your Chesapeake location?
Yes, we do have several satellite offices set up strategically to allow our technicians to get to our customers.
Yeah, I believe you had mentioned that on the phone to me.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. So we do have an office in Franklin, Chesapeake, Yorktown, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Portsmouth, and also, in Portsmouth. We were thinking about opening one in Suffolk, but the surrounding cities can get to them pretty quickly.
Okay. All right. And how competitive are your prices? I know people are price conscious nowadays and prices and everything, but competitive? We
are pretty competitive. We typically will fall 20 to 30% less than the top tier companies. We're not a budget pest control company, so you're not going to pay bottom dollar with us, but I'm a firm believer. If you pay bottom dollar for pest control service, you're probably getting bottom dollar service back. So we're right up there with the top tier companies as far as pricing, but we're just about 20 to 30% less.
Okay, and they sign a contract? Is it like a year contract, or how do you do that?
The great thing now, currently we don't have a contract. And what better way for a person to try our company out than to try us out with no commitment, no contract. They try us out, for some reason, if it doesn't work, no harm, no foul. They can cancel the service, no financial penalty. But in most cases, when people try us out and they get that wow experience at every turn, from the customer service person that answers the phone to the technician that shows up on time, very knowledgeable, gets rid of their pests. When they call in to make a payment, the accounts receivable person wows them. 98% of our clients that try us for the first time actually stick around for the service.
And then let's say that you do your service and then the pests come back. I mean, you expect they probably would try, right. Certainly. So what happens then? Do you just hit them again?
Well, the customers that have a service agreement with us, we generally ask them to wait 7 to 10 days, let that chemical get a chance to work.
Oh yeah, you got to give it a chance.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. And on that 11th day, if they see even one pest, we'll certainly go back out, we'll retreat it, and it doesn't cost them anything. Some of the customers who are trying us just for the first time, maybe they have a one-time service with us, we also give them a guarantee as well. We give them a 60-day warranty. So we still ask them to wait at least to the 11th day. And if they're seeing even one pest, one ant, one spider, we'll go back out, we'll retreat it at no cost to them. And as long as they're within that 60-day period, we'll go out as often as we need to and eradicate that problem, and it won't cost that customer a dime.
Do you do termite inspections?
We do. We do. Actually, we offer free termite inspections, and that's a part of our 30-point inspection, our general pest control inspection.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. That's good to know. All right. Well, is there anything that I haven't mentioned? You covered an awful lot of stuff, but is there anything that you wanted to talk about that I didn't bring up?
The only thing I probably would say is I'm very proactive, and I'm all about having a home inspected as often as you can. And in my opinion, I would say at least every 3 months. But if not, we would certainly recommend at the bare minimum that homeowners are getting their home or business inspected at least once a year. You know, our home and our business generally is our biggest asset. You know, we get insurance companies to insure it. We call the alarm company to come and put the alarm to protect it. Occasionally we'll put a fence around it and throw a guard dog back there just to protect it. Mm-hmm. But most people don't inspect the most important part of that, and that's the structural integrity of that property. With a pest control company coming in every 3 months or every year, we can inspect the structural integrity of that property, and in most cases a professionally trained technician, if he finds something that's going on with the structural integrity, we can catch it, we can treat it, and in most cases there's no repair needed. Versus the person who doesn't find out for 5, 10, or 15 years, now we're talking tens of thousands of dollars of structural repair and a very costly treatment.
Yeah, because a lot of this stuff can happen and you're not even aware of it. I mean,
absolutely.
How often do you go underneath your house?
Absolutely.
I know I don't. So, okay. Well, if you find yourself in the need, you're a homeowner or a business owner and would like to have your property checked out, you can give them a call. Their contact information is at the end of this video and at the bottom of the screen. Also, you know, if you're looking for a free termite inspection as well, that's something that can sneak up on you. Good thing to have in our area especially. Pests are something that can hit everybody, and if you think you might have a need, then you know, give Dennis a call, and I'm sure that he could set up an appointment to help you out. It's been a great pleasure having you in. And
likewise.
I appreciate you coming out and learning all about your company, and you sound like you got a lot on the ball, and I wish you a great deal of success.
Thank you. I certainly appreciate it.
All right, thanks.